Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, our praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh. Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Makakodash, Brakatam. Double honors shall go to the apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone who continue to teach and to rule well. Shalom to the Akims, a great millstone of like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. Shalom to sincere Aquats who continuously learning in silence as the Holy Scriptures have commanded for you to do so. And also shalom to the true believers and subscribers of this true gospel, for this should be considered a true blessing from the higher power. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. All right, so this blessed lesson for today is going to be titled Sedition Among Men. Now, I know that plenty of the other Akims out there have touched on this precept and is continuing to do so more and more every day. Simply put, because this sedition amongst men is intensifying more and more every single day. Okay? So we definitely have to continue to blow that trumpet to you Jakes out there, so that you guys can be prepared for what's to truly come. All right? So right here you see this individual. His channel is Full Spectrum Survival. So, this is one of them Edomite preppers. All right, so, listen, obviously this guy is not in the true spirit. He's not. He's an Edomite. Let's be real. People may say, oh, that's racist. No, this is reality. It's in the scriptures. All right? He is down by being blessed with the sword. All right? And he's, been saying this in his YouTube videos more and more about, his ammunitions, his guns. He's prepping, doing this, doing that, blah, blah, blah. So he's carnal-minded. Those are the Edomites. They're carnal. Us Israelites, mainly the 1/3, we're spiritual. All right? So I'm going to cue up this video, Lord willing, and then throw in a couple of scriptures and close out this video. But before I do so, fair use of the 1976 Copyright Act. For this video is strictly for education and edification purposes only. I'm not making a dime off this video. You heard? So I'm going to let this video play in its entirety. And then, like I said, pull up a couple of precepts and close it out. Let's go.
Well. Look at what we have here, a civil war brewing in the United States of America.
Yep, civil war.
If only we had seen this coming, we could better prepare for what is going to happen next. We have individuals with long guns standing their ground on the streets of Minneapolis. We have multiple people being called to arms across the United States of America, with an entire political class claiming that they should fight back against the federal government. They're not saying the exact words to go and smoke National Guardsmen in the streets of our country. They're just letting the people come to those decisions themselves. They're saying our Constitution is under attack. They're saying your freedom is under attack. They're saying that we have an insurrection already working inside of the United States of America today. I want you to take a look at some of this video I have for you. Start to put some of these pictures together yourselves, folks. We are very, very close to full go time inside of our country.
No gas, no oil, No problem. Here's one system that handles it all. If you're looking to upgrade your
Ah,
heating system
shut
this
up.
fall or winter, then this is hands down the.
We're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
No, we're pressing. What else?
That vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigation while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting.
Now, I've brought this up multiple times. If you knew SWAT was coming in after a group of gang members, right? And you started telling those members, hey, SWAT's coming. And then you went up the street and you said, turn here, SWAT's coming this way. And then you helped them to evade law enforcement by telling them everywhere that SWAT and law enforcement was going, you would be in a jail cell within the next 60 minutes. And we're reaching that point in the USA where they're not going to let people protest anymore. And what we're seeing is the left side of politics, whether they believe that they are justified and right in doing this or not, they are going to allow the ushering in of so much tyranny inside of our country that people will feel like they have no other options but to fight. And that's probably one of the scariest things that I have seen in the last couple of days. Speaking of that, some people are starting to catch on. They say a civil war is brewing right before our eyes. You guys watch and you tell me. Now, I am seeing a lot of plants. And what I mean by plants is I believe that we have government instigators working inside of these protests right now.
Absolutely.
And if by any strange track, they are not aligned with either the left or the right side of politics, then you can bet your last bullet and Band-Aid that these instigators are here, trained and being set out by a foreign government agency. Just like the CIA works in these other countries, their versions of the CIA are at work here inside of America. This guy acts around and he's about to find out right now. You see, if you spit on another individual, you are assaulting them. It's a bio attack. You might have some sort of communicable disease that now you have given to that person. It could be something like herpes. You could be giving them just some other sort of transferable disease. You will go to jail. Look at how he finds out the recourse for his actions here. Now, let me tell you, they are giving this guy the workover behind the video. This is purposeful. This guy stands up in front of the video because this guy just assaulted a law enforcement official. He just spit into his mouth, whether it's covered by a face shield or not, and they are taking him down. I guarantee that every pressure point, every elbow, every knee to the groin, and that's just what's happening while this guy is still out on the streets. You want to think that you are feeling the pressure of what is happening in our country? Go screw around like this and then find out what happens where the cameras cannot record. They'll yell, stop resisting, and beat the living out of you, and you will have nothing that you can do about it. Your bruises will be seen by a jury of your peers as being justified because you didn't have to be there, and you definitely didn't have to spit in his face. Moving, folks, because we've got a lot to cover here. Here is part of the U.S. Pentagon's 1,500. They're saying they're the 1,500 bringers of doom. Now, these 1,500 are going to go into major upsetted points of our country. It's going to start with Minneapolis, but I'm telling you right now, it is not going to end with Minneapolis. You're going to see this across New York. You're going to see it across Georgia. You'll see it in Florida if necessary. And some of those governors will be quick to call them in. They'll say, heck yes, bring the boots. Bring that new Venezuelan weapon down here. Let's get these protesters puking and bleeding out of their ears and eyeballs in the streets. We just entered. I'm not even going to say we're entering into a new time. We literally entered into it. And this is all happening at state level. When you peel the skin back and you start to see that this disease goes into the bone and it's in the blood system, you know that what we're doing with Greenland right now, the moves that we are making on Cuba, what's going on with China and Russia, that we are going to be living a life of missions and operations if by some unseen act of this great world, we don't get pulled back from the brink of complete American destruction. And I really think
American
that that's coming
destruction.
soon, because let me tell you, we have a lot of friends in different areas. A lot of them are both pro-immigration enforcement. A lot of them are law enforcement. And we have a lot of friends who stand way on the other side. And I'm talking about Billy Joe on the other side.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk
Shut
about
up.
doing their teeth in the day process.
A couple of our other friends are on the deeper other side, in the south, in the north. They're all saying the same thing. They made a plan. What will they do when the martial law comes?
Martial
What
law.
will they do
There you go.
when ICE is no longer enforcing immigration and they start enforcing maybe gun takeaways?
Yep.
Maybe they start thinking everybody has to show that they don't have a drug on them. That's what they're planning for. An America that is completely embroiled in unrest. And let me tell you, if all of our friends and acquaintances, business acquaintances, whatever it might be, if they all have a plan, then that means that you better have a plan too. And number one on your plan better be not to get into these altercations. Escape and evade is probably more important than every bit of range time that you could do, because if you don't have to get in a firefight, you don't need that range time. De-escalate. You have to know how to de-escalate what is coming. First of all, escape, evade, and de-escalate should be the three things that you're practicing the most and that you're telling your kids to practice. Escape, if you get illegally taken by maybe someone on the street, you need to know how to escape that situation. You also need to understand that no one is faster on this planet than a radio. And so you have an area of operation, and that area of operation is a circle, let's just call it, of the likely ways that you will travel. And let me tell you, law enforcement is so dialed into technology that you better go with zero things on you except your shoes. You better not have a smart tech anywhere near you if any time in the future you have to evade technological illegal capture. Step number 2, evasion. So you've got to escape first, and then you've got to evade. That means that you have to get outside of that area and then cut it. You got to find a way to not have to continue moving, because your movement is your capture. And so what do you do? What plans do you have? Let me tell you, it is that serious. And de-escalation, of course, is very important.
The Pentagon has ordered 1,500 active-duty soldiers to prepare for a possible deployment to Minnesota, two U.S. officials told Reuters on Sunday. That follows a threat by President Donald Trump to use the Insurrection Act to quell protests there against the government's deportation drive. The Army placed the units on prepare to deploy orders in case violence in the Midwestern state escalates, the officials said, though it was not clear whether any of them would be sent. The soldiers subject to deployment specialize in cold weather operations, according to the officials. They're assigned to Army infantry battalions under the 11th Airborne Division, based in Alaska, seen here in previously released Defense Department footage. The Pentagon and the White House did not immediately respond to Reuters' requests for comment on the order.
Imagine this being Minnesota in the near future. Could you imagine paratroopers jumping out of the sky? Going down, sailing down into a hot spot in a U.S. state? This is an America unlike, this ain't your daddy's America anymore. This is a new America. And we're definitely going to be ready for these changes, folks. You're watching Full Spectrum Survival on YouTube. Please make sure that you are subscribed. Share this video off of YouTube. That's the most important.
All right. So you best believe that this is going to come to a city and town near you. You heard? And you already mentioned about those Venezuelan weapons. All right, well, what he's referring to was when the U.S. went and captured Maduro in Venezuela. How would they be able to do that? They use these hypersonic weapons that can disorient an individual, blind, it can make you deaf. And depending on the level from that supersonic weapon, it can also kill you. You heard? This is what Esau's got planned for you Jakes. Okay? Y'all still want to run around partying like it's 1999? All right? You guys, want to get ready to shop for Valentine's Day and get your Valentine's Day presents. All right. Yo, y'all keep being foolish if you want. But this is sedition amongst men. So we're going to go to the scriptures. 2nd Esdras 15:14, it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Woe means destruction. All right? Verse 15, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And here's a point. Verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Woo! All right? So, very soon, us prophets, the hopeful men of the elect, the men of the Lord, we know we're going to no longer be out in the highways and byways and out and on the unicorn preaching this gospel. It's just a matter of time. Seek the Lord while he shall still be found. Seek the Lord while he may still be found. You heard? You Jakes are going to get caught out there very soon. It's happening now, but it's only going to intensify as these days and weeks roll by. You heard? So with that being said, that's going to conclude this very informative lesson for today. Hopefully edification was brought forth. And as always, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Wakak Kodash, Brakatam, Kwam Yasharala, Rise Israel. And as always, Abaratazah, Lord willing, on to the next video. Shalom.